Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, the weekly podcast devoted to all things spirituality and self-improvement. I am so delighted you're here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking about what to do when it feels like you're stuck. We're still going through Mercury in retrograde, and there are a lot of other things happening, and it's causing some confusing energy for a lot of people. So I want to talk about what to do when it feels like nothing is happening, life is confusing, it's stagnant, you don't know which direction to go, and you just need a little guidance. We're going to talk about that today. But before we get started with today's episode, I want to introduce you to another fellow podcaster. I want to introduce you to Maria Rotenberger. She is the Reluctant Medium. If you've ever wondered if you have a gift or if you're curious about phenomena like psychics and ghosts, then you ought to check out the Reluctant Medium. Maria Rotenberger is the host of Reluctant Medium. She's a mental health therapist who was surprised by the souls of two babies who spontaneously came to her. And years later, she reluctantly began training in mediumship and has been hooked and hasn't looked back ever since. So if you like Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, you're going to love the Reluctant Medium. Check it out wherever your favorite podcast is found. All right, so you're feeling like you get stuck. What do? It can be very, very confusing. But I talk about this. I did a similar episode for my patrons, and I like to think of it like a bow and arrow. When you pull back on that bow and arrow, you have to really concentrate on what you're doing, and as you pull back, there's a pause there. But then that bow and arrow just slings forward. That's kind of what's happening to you. You're in this space where we're trying to reach our goals, so we're adjusting everything to make sure that we're where we're supposed to be. So this pause feels very frustrating, but it's because you're about to be propelled into your life purpose. And I think so many of us here are. But waiting to find out what that is or which direction you should go can be so incredibly frustrating. And I get that. I totally understand that. I've had similar experiences. I just released my book, Beautiful Mourning, which is a guide to life after loss. This was such a huge undertaking for me because I decided to self-publish instead of going through a publisher. I was a little frustrated at the results with the publisher, and through no fault of her own, she did exactly what she said she was going to do. But I'm paying somebody to do something I could have done because they don't market your book at all. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. I didn't know where to start at all. It felt very confusing in the beginning. I finally started asking the universe, okay, you got to bring people into my life who can help me. And one of my favorite guests and a good mentor buddy of mine is Ronnie Ryan. And she suggested, hey, why don't you hire some people to do X, Y, or Z? They have people who do that. So I was lucky enough in that my best friend, is an editor. And he said, I'll edit your book. So he did that for me. But he's very busy. So there were some times where it was taking forever. And when you have those delays, sometimes you really start to question yourself, like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Why is this happening? Why am I not seeing any progress? And I got to one of those points where I was just frustrated, threw my hands up in the air, and I said, okay, universe, maybe I'm not supposed to publish this book. Maybe it's terrible. And then my friend texted me and said, hey, I finished your book. And it was suddenly out of nowhere. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, that just happened so quickly. And then I had to move on to the next phase where I had to hire someone to format the book for online, for ebook publishing and also for print. So I hired someone to do that. And he was very fast, but the reason he was very fast is because he was not very careful at looking at what he did. So I'm looking over it. I'm like, oh no, this is not formatted correctly. There were things that were supposed to be on the same page that ended up on other pages. But he was very nice. Okay, I'll fix it. We kept going back and forth about 7 times, sending this back and forth. No, this isn't right. Finally get it. Or I thought we got it. He uploads everything to Amazon, to all the places. And I realized, oh my gosh, there were letters that got cut off and this looks terrible. I cannot turn this. I'm a teacher, right? I cannot have these letters left out, important letters like I at the beginning of a sentence. I was panicked. So I had to go in then and correct what he did. He had to send me a copy of everything, and I had to go through and edit it again. It was a huge pain. And at that point, I texted my friend and I said, that's it, I quit. This book sucks. I'm not going to publish it. I don't even know what's going on. I was so frustrated. And my friend said, calm down. He said, that is a really good book. I read it. I wouldn't tell you it was good if it wasn't. You're just panicking. We'll figure it out. I'll help you if you want me to. We can figure this out together, which was really sweet of him. But I decided to, stop throwing a hissy fit and stop getting upset. And instead, I just said, okay, no, I'm just going to sit down. And I was supposed to do a live in my Patreon group, on my Patreon page that night. And I got on really quickly and I said, guys, I'm so sorry. We have to postpone this to tomorrow. I have to take care of this. This has to get done. And it's going to take me a while because I had to update the original copy, and then I had to go and upload it to like 4 different places. So it took me a while to get it done, but I got it done. And I got it done before people started ordering copies of it, luckily. And it was so frustrating. But I knew that it was important. There's a lesson too in this, be patient. You want to get it done right. Just be patient, slow down, calm down, and everything worked out. But there's that part of us that when things don't go our way or we feel like we're getting stuck, we just want to throw in the towel. We want to give up. We want to say, that's it. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is too frustrating. It's too hard. We're being tested a lot during those times. Whether we realize it or not, most things are a test. I've had things going on too in my family lately that are just, I would never have imagined that my life would be the way it is right now. If you'd have told me 2 years ago, I would say, no way. But our family dynamic shifted so much after my mom died. And now we're kind of dealing with the aftermath of that with a family member. And it's really frustrating. And I can't even describe what it's been like going through this. It's one of those things, though, where I realize that there's a lesson in this, and I'm trying to be patient and work through this, and it's bringing up some triggers in my life. And so for you, if you're going through that right now, if you've got things that are triggering you or you just feel unhappy with where you are, this is the advice that I keep giving people because it's what I keep coming back to. And what I keep channeling whenever I do my readings on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is that we need to take the focus off of what's going on around us right now and put it back on ourselves. It's time now to go within and really get grounded and get connected to our higher selves because the universe is trying to guide us where we're supposed to be. It can be frustrating because it feels like you're going backwards sometimes, but you're really not. People are getting shifted around and moved out of our lives because maybe they aren't supposed to go with us. We're meeting new people. We're having new opportunities come in. This is all happening for a reason. You're leveling up to that next level, but that can feel uncomfortable. We've asked for all of these things, and I know that you guys are wanting to manifest a lot of things in your life. When you are asking for all of that and you're hoping to manifest things, it might get uncomfortable for a while because the universe kind of tests us. Are we ready for this? Are you ready for that new job? Are you ready for that relationship? And it's not a bad thing. It's the universe trying to make sure that we've healed the parts of us we need to heal before we move on to that next level. Again, it can feel frustrating, but there are some things we can do to really sit down and ask ourselves, okay, are we doing what we need to do in order to get to that next level? Sometimes the reason we feel stuck is because, and this is another message that I was channeling the other day, Some people get stuck because they don't move. They're afraid of what that next step should be, or if they take it, or what should they do. And I understand that, because before I hired this person to do this job, I was asking myself, okay, should I hire somebody else to do it, or should I try to do it myself? And I was doing all of this research to see what I should do or what I have to do in order to get this book formatted and get it published other places. And I thought, okay, you know what? This is too much for myself. I'm going to be running around in circles. I would rather hire someone who's a professional, who can do it and who knows what they're doing, and it'll take a lot less time. And even though we had all of those edits and things we had to do, it still took less time because it was done and uploaded in a matter of days than if I were sitting there trying to figure it all out. It would have taken me weeks just to make sure I felt confident enough to format it correctly, which sounds weird, but that's how we are. We want things to be perfect, which isn't a thing. Perfection's not a thing anyway, but we want things to be perfect, so we get scared and we get caught up in that and we don't do anything. So one of the messages also coming out from the universe is that we do need to take action. You do need to take some sort of inspired action on your part in order to get unstuck. So I want you to sit down and really think about your life. It's always good to do a life review every now and then. Where do you feel stuck in your life? Is it in your job? Is it your relationship? Where is it? Why do you think you're stuck? Because I'm going to be really honest with you and telling you that most of the time when we're stuck, it's just because we think we're stuck. We put ourselves in a mental prison. We put ourselves in a holding cell and we don't do anything, and we're like, this sucks and my life's terrible, when really we have the absolute power to change that. And that's another message that's been coming out whenever I've been doing my readings is, you're so powerful. And if you knew how powerful you were, you would never get stuck again or feel like you were stuck, because you would realize that taking a little inspired action every day towards your dream is going to help you get unstuck. The universe wants to work with you, but you have to be willing to also do your part. It's like we're showing the universe, I'm serious about this. This is what I want. The universe is telling you that you're in an intense process of emergence of the next cycle of your life. And unlike the more gradual shifts that you've had, this one is going to move you along quite rapidly. And I said that, it's like the bow and arrow, right? It is going to propel you forward really quickly into your next timeline. But that's why you're in that holding pattern, because there are things you cannot take with you. Do you have bad habits that you're still doing all the time? Are there, when I say bad habits, I don't mean you're doing drugs or doing alcohol. I mean, you could be. But for me, bad habits are things like the negative thinking, or the need to control everything, the fear, the being afraid of having money, or the being afraid to spend money, or not having enough. All of those things are the things the universe does not want you to take with you into that next chapter. So that's why right now it's a really important time for you to decide, okay, what do I need to let go of? And what do I need to do more of? Because that's a twofold thing, right? There are things we need to be doing less of and things we need to do more of. We need to be doing less of the things that keep us stuck, like the critical thinking about ourselves, the negative thoughts, the procrastination, all of those things. We need to be doing more things like the positive affirmations, meditating, doing things that make you feel good, that bring joy into your life. And I think for a lot of people, a big problem is that you've put yourself on the back burner, and the universe says, no, you should be in the forefront of your life and you should be taking charge of your life. Take time each and every day to do something that brings you joy, because it's super important and it's what feeds your soul. It also helps you if you connect creatively. So do something that is creative, that allows you to connect more to your creative side. So if you're feeling stuck, you're not really stuck. But what I want you to do is to sit down and really examine your life and ask yourself those questions. In what ways, in what areas of my life do I feel stuck? Are there things that I'm doing that I need to quit doing that is going to help me move forward? Are there things that I should be doing more of that's going to help me move forward? Sometimes it's simple things like eating a little healthier, getting more sleep, getting outside, getting a little movement. Those things make us feel better, and in turn, that helps us to connect to our higher selves, to spirit, and to be able to get more guidance. So start doing those things, and I wanted to pull a few cards to give you some messages for the week. The first card that came out is Exceeding Expectations. I soar into excellence. So you, whether you feel like it or not, you're being propelled forward. You're going into excellence. You just need to have patience and allow this to come in for you. You may have a message coming in this week from someone or something that is going to turn things around for you. It is divinely guided, because the next card is serendipity, and the universe loves to line us up with people and situations that can help us. So you're going to be getting messages from the universe this week, either through people, or maybe you're actually getting messages that you hear from your guides. But you have the card coming out, hearing messages from spirit. I am a clear channel for messages from spirit, so be on the lookout for those. But that is going to require you to go into solitude. Solitude is your next card. You need to spend some time alone, connecting to your higher self, connecting to your guides, and really just disconnecting from the outside world. Because when you do that, then you're going to find that things start aligning for you and coming in, and you're going to get a lot of messages this week. You have believing in magic. The magic is abounding in my life. So once you go inward, disconnect a little bit, and you start to really connect to your guides, to your higher self, disconnect from the outer world, things are going to start happening. And it's going to be amazing. And you're going to get motivated for what you want to see happen in your life. And if you believe in yourself and you work on believing in yourself, you're going to see huge shifts in a positive way. And these are all really good things. So take some time out this week to do some self-care, really do some reflecting on your life. Where do I need to make changes? What can I do to improve my life? What can I let go of? All the things. And things are going to start opening up for you. I promise you that. The universe wants to work with you to help you and to help you see how magical life can really be. So trust in that. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for being here with me today. If you would like to order a copy of my book, Beautiful Mourning, A Guide to Life After Loss, I would be so appreciative. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books, and the link will also be in the show notes. You can also join us on Patreon. I go live there once a week, and I do a live card reading. I also post an extra episode each week of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. Now, there are 2 levels you can join. The $5 a month is just for the extra podcast episode, and then I'll also post readings there sometimes. The $10 a month is for the live and the extra podcast episode. Every person that shows up on the live gets a reading. It's a lot of fun. It's a very supportive group. You can join us for a free trial for a week to see if you like it. If you like it, you can stay with us. If not, you don't have to continue, and there's no obligation to stay. I hope that you guys have an amazing week. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.